There's a program here, right? I think the program.
No. Naomi's in the first row.
Let's get started with Shabbos. So if you open your Mishkan Tfilah on page 129, you will see that there is a, do you have it? There is a verse. It says, Yeshmera Shabbat El Ishmereni. Do you see it? It's at the bottom. Ot-i le'ol me'ad beino uveini. It's a reminder that keeping Shabbat, celebrating Shabbat, is the way in which we somehow protect ourselves. Yeshmera Shabbat El Ishmereni. Yeshmera Shabbat El Ishmereni. Ay, ay, ay. Hoy le'ol me'ad beino uveini. Hoy le'ol me'ad beino uveini. Yeshmera Shabbat El Ishmereni. Yeshmera Shabbat El Ishmereni. Ay, ay, ay. Hoy le'ol me'ad beino uveini. Hoy le'ol me'ad beino uveini. Good Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. What a great thing is to welcome Shabbat in community. And there's this beautiful tradition of singing from the Song of the Songs when we welcome Shabbat. So in that same page, on page 129, in the top of page 129, we say, Dodi li v'ani lo aroeh. I am my beloved. Oh, my guitar is experiencing the cold. I don't know, were your cars today, this morning, covered by ice? I think that that's a, when that happens in California, thank you, Ian. So when that happens in California, I think that we are betrayed in our trust. Like this morning, there was ice in my car, and I was like, hey, nobody told me. That being said, what a nice thing is to experience the seasons of the year. Page 129, thank you for your patience tuning our guitars, my guitar. Do, di, li, vanilo. Do, di, li, vanilo, aroe, vashoshanim, do, di, li, vanilo, aroe, vashoshanim. Mi sokola mina midvar, mi sokola mina midvar. Mekuteret moru levona, moru levona. Dodili, alilo aroe, vashoshanim, dodili. Anihilo aroe, vashoshanim, mekuteret moru levona, moru levona. Livavtihimi, achoti kala, litzafon, litzafon, uvoiteiman. Uvoiteiman, dodili, vanilo aroe, vashoshanim, dodili, vanilo aroe, vashoshanim. We'll light Shabbat candles. We will turn our Sidurim to page 120, and we will invite to light Shabbat candles Noga and Kayla and Gilad to lead us in the lighting of the candles of Shabbat. And I will suggest something. There is an opportunity in the fact that we have a smaller crowd. Maybe you want to get closer to the Shabbat candles, like lighting Shabbat candles at home. So if you feel comfortable doing so, you can rise and get closer. So we light candles together. I'll get closer too. And you can come. You can come. If you don't feel comfortable walking, you can get closer in your heart.
Let's try.
Let's light Shabbat candle together.
Kayla? Hold in two. Perfect.
It looks different from here, right? And we look at the Nerot Shabbat, we take the light of Shabbat, we look at each other, we take the light from each other, the light of each other's presence, and we say Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom everyone. We can acknowledge each other's presence. This is a great opportunity. And while you are walking, we say we walk toward welcoming Shabbat. You can go back walking and turn your Sidurim to page 130 for Lehu. Walk with joy. You can walk with joy. Lehu neranena lahadonai nari aletzur isheinu nekadma fana v'toda ismirot nari alo nekadma fana v'toda ismirot. Page 131, Shir Hadash, sing a new song. Shiru l'Adonai, Shir Hadash, Shiru l'Adonai, Kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai, Baruch Shemo, Basru miyom leyom, Yeshuato, Sapru v'Elohim, Kevodo, Bechol ha'amim, Nifleotav. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la We'll now turn our Sidurim to page 134. There is an interesting thing about the words that we sing in Shabbat, the words that we take from the Psalms. I always like to remind that the word sambru, sing, also means trim, cut. And while it is forbidden to cut stuff in Shabbat, there's one thing that needs to be cut in Shabbat. What's that thing? Well, our day-to-day, our daily concerns. We try to shift, we cut off the things that we are carrying, and we try to shift into different things. We'll talk about that later, but this Shabbat is Shabbat Parshat Vayetze, the story in which Jacob leaves his house in a turmoil of emotions and completely overwhelmed and understanding that he needs to build thousands of things. And he takes a nap. The first thing he does, he takes a nap. Bailam bamakom. He falls asleep. And the reason for that is that we sometimes forget that we need to recharge, that we need to disconnect from certain things, to leave certain places in order to connect. Each of these psalms, each of these melodies are invitations for us to leave behind what we shouldn't carry in Shabbat and to connect with the invitation of entering the palace in time. We're on page 134. Page 136. Before Lechadodi, there is one more psalm. Mismor LeDavid, Psalm 29. And I always like to remind that in many congregations, Mismor LeDavid is chanted standing. You don't need to stand right now. But it's an invitation to rise, to elevate ourselves. It's sometimes difficult to look up, to look forward. So we try to let also these melodies to lift us up. We want to sing 3 verses out of Psalm 29. So if you are not familiar with the words, after the first time, we will repeat it several times. After the first time, you will be able to join us. So we encourage you to stick to the Siddur and to try with us. Great opportunity to join. And if you don't want to go with the words, go with the melody and let this melody lift up your spirit.
He's more leidavin, havlad onai benelim. He's more leidavin, havlad onai kavod va'od. He's more leidavin, havlad onai benelim. He's more leidavin, havlad onai kavod va'od. Havlad onai kavod va'od. Havlad onai kavod shemo. Havlad onai kavod va'od. Havlad onai kavod shemo. Mizmor LeDavid, havlad onai benelim. Mizmor LeDavid, havlad onai kavod va'od. Yai, 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 at the bottom of page 137. Adonai Yos, Lamoiten, Adonai Yevarech, et amo bashalom. Adonai Yos, Lamoiten, Adonai Yevarech, et amo bashalom. Ay, yai, 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 Page 138. In the center of Kabbalat Shabbat, there is this millennia, 600 years old poem that's been accompanying us for generations and reminding us of our search to celebrate and to fall in love again and again with our routines. And once again, if you are not familiar with the melody, we have been doing this melody for months. Let's work on this together, it's great. So we are going to repeat the chorus 5 times. So it's going to happen 5 times. Now in the 5th verse, I'm going to slow down. We'll try to sing it together. words are itoreri, itoreri. Wake up. So we'll try to wake up together. We'll see how that goes. לחדודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקרלה. לחדודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקרלה. שמור ושחור בדיבור אחד, ישמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת בלי תהילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקרלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקרלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. בראש מקדם נשוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקרלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקרלה. This is the one we try to sing out loud. Itoreri, itoreri. Let's try. Itoreri. Ian, can I ask you to stop the piano 1 second? Thank you. Itoreri, 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 itoreri. You see that it goes up, right? Itoreri, itoreri. It's actually an octave higher. Itoreri, itoreri. כי באורך קומי אורי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי אורי, שיר דברי, אורי אורי, שיר דברי. And then it resumes, finalizes. כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. Let's do it together. כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. I think you have it, right? התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי אורי, שיר דברי. Wonderful. כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקרלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקרלה. לא תבושי ולא תקלמי, אל תשתוכחי ומה תהמי, רק יחסו עניי ימים. נבנתה עיר אל תילה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקרלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקרלה. At this point you may rise and turn toward the gate of the synagogue. אוי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני העם סגולה, אוהי קלה ואוהי חלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקרלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקרלה. So we have been practicing this idea of after greeting Shabbat, greeting each other, and we have done it already once, but I don't think it makes any harm to do it twice. So we invite you to encourage you to go and say Good Shabbos
to each other. Take a moment to do that. And Peter.
Shabbat
I know who
shalom. It's so good to see you.
We are now on page 140. One more psalm for Shabbos, Psalm 92. Mizmor Shir leyom HaShabbat. Mizmor Shir, 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 Shir leyom HaShabbat. Page 144. 144. Are you there? 144. Lavriot, bless you. יתגדל ויתקדש מרבה, בעלמא דברך חירותי בימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי בכל בית ישראל. בעגלה בעגלה, ובזמן קריב, באמרו יש מרב המבורך, לעולם ולעול מעלמיה, יתברך וישתבח, ויתבהר ויתרומם ויתנשא, בהיתהדר, בהיתהלל, בהיתהלל, שמי קודשה, לעילה מן כל ברכתה, ושירתה, תושבחתה ונאמתה, להמירם והאלמה, ואמרו, page 146. We turn our Siorim to the blessing that opens the Shema.
invite you to rise for Baruch. Yai-rai, yai-rai, rai, 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 rai. Yai-rai, rai, 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 rai. Yai-rai, rai, rai. Hai-yai, rai, 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 rai. Yai-rai, rai, 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 rai. Yai-rai, rai, 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 rai. Yai-rai, rai, rai. Baruch et Adonai, Yadai, Dai, 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 Amevorach. Baruch Adonai, Amevorach, Leolam Vaed. We're on page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzebaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Baruch Ata Adonai, Am'ariv Aravim. As we turn our Siurim to page 150, we think of Avat Olam, an everlasting love, a blessing, a source of love that brings light to our lives. Page 152. Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai our Sidurim to page 154. Let's chant together, shall we? ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשופטך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על משושות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. I'll tell you an interesting story about this. I actually complicated your chanting. There is a reason for that. The reason is I was always trained to chant with the Eretz Israel, with the land of Israel kind of chanting, also in Argentina, which is also used in the United States by many other communities, and we chant here with the American cantillation, which I'm trying to incorporate from time to time. The interesting thing about this is actually this Torah portion. What's the Torah portion that we are reading? Once again, Vayetze. What happens in Vayetze? There is a... What? He left home, and there is a ladder, right? There's a sulam. And an interesting interpretation to these angels that come down and up, that's the order, is that he's transitioning between lands. He's transitioning from the land of Israel into the diaspora. And so you need different angels. And so the angels are shifting. And so he's in this place somehow and in the middle. And in the middle, so he needs to sleep for those angels to change the guard. And sometimes my chanting, when I try to chant with the American termination, sounds something like in the middle. It's not this and not that. So with that said, let's turn our Sidurim to page 158 for the blessing for redemption, mi chamocha. Yallai, 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 Ya la 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 mi chamocha bailim Adonai mi kamocha nedar bakodesh nora tehilo no se fele ay alchutecha rahuvanecha bokea yam lifnei Moshe Miriam Sehelianu ve'amenu, oy Sehelianu ve'amru. That's it is said. Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own, from a challenge that seemed to be impossible. Praise at you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Gaal Israel. We're on page 160. For the blessing for eternal peace. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom
בעמידנו שומרנו לחיים, השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, בעמידנו שומרנו לחיים, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ותגננו בצר טוב מלפניך, השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, בעמידנו שומרנו לחיים, השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, בעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. פרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך. ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. Blessed are you, Adonai, Garden of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over the holy city, the city of Shalom, Yerushalayim. Shambru b'nei Israel et Shabbat. It is a covenant to keep Shabbat as a part of our lives and to let Shabbat keep our life experience, help us recognize time and gather meaning, harness meaning in our lives. We're on page 164 for Tfilat Amidah. We invite you to please rise. If you are not physically able to rise on your legs, you can rise on your spirit. We turn also to Jerusalem, our eternal capital, symbol of our search for center in this time of our prayer. Adonai, שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך.
Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
Continue in silence. תגיבו לעולם, ולכם מתים את הרחוב לא שיר. מה שברוח, הוא מודי, ידרגה שמתחיל חיים בחסך. מתים את הרחוב נבראים. אתה קדוש, אני חודש. תגיד, אני משביל, שאני חודש. מודיענו אתה שאדוני אלוהינו ולאלוהי אבותינו ממותנו לעם בעת צור חיינו וגנשנו ותבוא לדור בדור חרדלך מספרת וילדיך ואלו בעל גולמת ברך ותרום שמחמקנו ודברך.
We are at the bottom of page 180. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי בהגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני, צורי וגואלי. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל. ואמרו, Amen. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace for us, for all Israel. We need so much in these days, particularly within the state of Israel. We need that peace. We'll talk about that later. And let us say, Amen. We will now turn our Siddurim to page 371. We add to Tfilat Amidah one more prayer, a prayer for healing. We think of those dealing with illness in their bodies. We think of those dealing with illness in their souls. We think of those dealing with addictions. And so we pray for those carrying grief. If there is a name that you'd like to share in this Erev Shabbat, this evening of Shabbat, we invite you to do so as we go around the room. I'm praying for you too, Jill, for your prompt recovery.
Richard Kennemer, Jack Long, Don Green-Gorton, Bruce Roberts, Stuart Mass, Howard Levine, Alfreda Mastman, Diane Siegel, Francine Pack, Jill Becker, Gail Frankel, Melanie Weil, Scott Van Gundy, Ed Stein, Victoria Spiller, Debbie Pink, Jill Jacknow, Dave Stahl, Lonnie Goldman, Richard Ravish, former member of Shir Hadash, Adam Kaufman, Ian Ballard, friend of Allison Turner, Franklin Wolfson, son-in-law of Susan Deniston, Marcel Cunningham, mother of Liz Herman, Varda Sachi, mother of Nava Bernstein.
On page 371 for Misha Berach. them, to all of you, to all of us, רפואה שלמה והחלמה. We complete a whole recovery, and let us say once again, Amen. So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I know that you think I say it very often, but this this one is the best Torah portion ever. And do you know why? Because it's my bar mitzvah Torah portion. And that makes it the best. I think that's why we invited Noga to light candles with Keila and Gilad. I don't think Noga knew. But it's my bar mitzvah Torah portion. It's a very, very special Torah portion without any connection to the fact that 27 years ago I went up to the Torah in my shul in Buenos Aires. Let's give some context to this Torah portion. There's a big fight at home. Big fight. There's a big explosion. I don't know if you have experienced something like that in your home ever, but the Torah in the third story or the fourth story about families is describing a big family crisis. And the parents are involved in this crisis. We don't fully know if Isaac is in partnership with Rebecca or not, but the traditional explanation is that Rebecca and Jacob, mom and one of the children, cheated on dad and the other one of the children, and all of a sudden, mom and dad are very worried that child number 2 will kill child number 1. Now, they tell Jacob, you got to run away. You got to leave this place. You got to go out. And that's why the Torah starts, this Torah portion says, go out, vayetze. And he went out. He's running away. He's not just going out. No, he's running away with a huge blessing. Now, this huge blessing, just for you to imagine, is like becoming a superhero. Nothing less than that. The idea around the blessing of the firstborn, Birkat HaBechorah, is that from the moment that you get that blessing, and that's why it was such a big deal, you're a superhero. So now he's a superhero, but the superhero is running away. He's living, and he's rich, very rich, but homeless. And maybe his pockets are full, but he understands very little about what's going to be. There's a huge level of uncertainty. And in that context, this Torah portion starts. ויצא יעקב מבאר שבע וילך חרנה. Jacob left Beersheba and set out for Haran. And he came upon certain place. ויפגע במקום, says the Torah, וילן שם. He says, and all of a sudden he recognized a place. Now the word ויפגע, the rabbis are not sure what that means. לפגוע במשהו is to hit something or to, but in this context, because it appears in that context later on in the Torah, it could be that he did a little prayer. And he had a little prayer in that place, a moment of mindfulness. He had a moment of mindfulness. And then, Vayalen Sham, and he went to sleep. He took a nap. We'll talk about that more extensively tomorrow. And once he's sleeping, he has a dream. What's the dream? There's a ladder. We spoke about that. There's a ladder with angels coming down and up. And he feels that that's a message. And then he wakes up. And at the moment that he wakes up, what does he say? יש אלוהים במקום הזה ואנוכי לא ידעתי. There is God in this place. Shell, you were reading. We have sages in the room. Such a privilege. יש אלוהים במקום הזה ואנוכי לא ידעתי. There is God in this place and I did not know. He was surprised. And he said, well, this must be God's house. This is the house of God. And he's all of a sudden certain of it. And he calls that place, that makom, By the way, the word makom means also place and God. And he placed that makom, he calls that makom, that place, Bet-El, the house of God. And that reminds me of a story of my childhood that I like very much, about dreams and about finding things in our dreams. Once upon a time, in the city of Krakow, there was a kind, lonely old man by the name of Easy. That doesn't sound good in Hebrew, in English. Let's call him Icy. Icy. Several nights in a row, Icy dreamed that he traveled to Prague and came to a bridge over a river. Now, have you been to Prague? There are bridges everywhere in Prague. There are many bridges. The most famous one is the Charles Bridge, in which we have a huge, in that area we have a huge Jewish community, and many stories from our tradition come actually from Prague. The most famous one is the golem. The golem. The most famous golem. We had golems also in the Talmud, but the most famous one is from Prague. Isaac thought that in Prague was going to find redemption. He dreamed that on one side of the river, under the bridge, there stood a leafy tree. He dreamed that he was digging a ditch beside the tree, and that from that hole, he would find an incredible treasure that was going to give him tranquility for the rest of his life. At first, Isaac didn't pay any attention to the dream. But after some time, and after having this dream week after week, he decided that he couldn't ignore this dream anymore. It could be a message from God or from something like God. So he needed to explore it. So following his intuition, he loaded up his mule for a long journey and took off for Prague. After 6 days of traveling, the old man finally reached Prague and set out to find the bridge over the river that turned out to be in the outskirts of town. There weren't many rivers, so he just needed to find the right bridge. So quickly he was able to find it, and once he did, he realized that there was a guard protecting the entrance to the bridge. So he decided to put his tent and wait. And waited. He waited for an entire day. On the second night, the soldier began to suspect the man camping there near his bridge. He thought he was up to something, so he came to question him. The old man couldn't think of a reason to lie, so he told the soldier that he had come from a far-off city because he had dreamed that in Prague, beneath a bridge like that one, lay a buried treasure. The guard burst out laughing. "You have traveled quite a distance for such a foolishness. For the past 3 years, I have been dreaming every night," said the guard, "that in the city of Krakow, under the fireplace of an old man whose name is Isaac, there is a huge treasure. And do you think I'm going to be that foolish to go and look for that?" Isaac said, "Well, certainly not." He said, "Thank you," and left. Went back home. And what did he find under his fireplace? A treasure. So there are three ideas behind this story that I think link back to our Torah portion that I want to share with you. The first one is that journeys cannot happen if you are not willing to move or to be moved by Yetzeh. You need to come out from some place in order to enter a new one. Journeys require from us to move. The second idea, this is true also for the treasure, right? If you remain dreaming at home, you probably are not going to even to be able to find the treasure that you have at home. The second one is that we cannot dream if we don't sleep. And by sleep, I mean if we don't pause. And the same is true for meaning. We cannot find meaning if we don't dream. So if you don't sleep, if you don't pause, you cannot dream. And if you don't dream, if we don't dream, it's very difficult to find meaning. The third one and this is the most important one, the one I want you to keep. Vayiketz Yaakov Mishnato, and all of a sudden he woke up, he stopped dreaming, and he was surprised. He realized that there is God in this place. Yes, Elohim b'makom aseh, b'anochi lo yadati. And says the Ben Ish Chai, the Torah commentator, the sage from the Iraqi Jewish community, that it wasn't about the place, that it had nothing to do with the location. That place that he called Bethel, well, it was random. He says that he actually found God, and by God I want to say meaning, because that was the stage in his journey. Because he was looking for God, he was looking for meaning, he was seeking that connection. And this is the idea that I want to emphasize. So often we think that we are going to find meaning once we reach this place or we reach that place. So often we think that we just need to go through these 7 weeks, this year that is difficult, and then it's going to be really joyful and meaningful. We just need to finish these 3 years of studies. You just need to finish rabbinical school, and then you will have time to think about how you want to build a Jewish home. It doesn't work. It doesn't work that way. The search for meaning cannot be postponed for the end of the journey. The search for meaning and finding meaning at the different stages of our journey, that's the journey. So Bethel, the house of God, the house of meaning, is wherever we wake up in our journey. And in order to wake up, we also need to pause. And with this idea, I want to leave you with the invitation of this Torah portion of Parashat Vayetze to pause, to breathe, to dream, and also to understand that Bethel, the house of God, the house of meaning, is not somewhere at the end of the journey, when you figure out what to do with your blessings, when you have 12 children, when you have enough money in your bank account. The place to find meaning is right here, right now. And that's, at the end of the day, what gives direction to our journey. Not the meaning that we will find, but the meaning that we can find in this moment. Shabbat Shalom Mevorach, everyone. We'll continue our service on page 588. And I'd like to invite all those that are under the age of 13 to help us on opening the ark. So James, Amitai, Kayla, and Gilad, if you are there, no. And all those who are comfortable to come with Nitzan. We're going to open the curtains of the ark, the parochet, as we sing the words Be'ashebota el levavecha. Oh, I didn't see you. You can do that with. Be'ashebota el levavecha Ki Adonai Hua Elohim Elohim Ve'ashevota Ve'ashevota Elevavecha Elevavecha Ki Adonai Ki Adonai Hua Elohim ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. You can close the doors. We can close the doors also now. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Thank you. At this point, we take a moment to acknowledge mourners among our community. If you are during the first 7 days of mourning Shiva, please rise. Remind us who you are remembering. And you, who is?
Fred Huber.
Who is to you?
Sister-in-law's father.
Sister-in-law, Father. May his memory be a blessing. If you are during the first 30 days of mourning, Shloshim, please rise. Share with us who you're remembering. If you are during the cycle of the first year of mourning, please rise and share with us who you are remembering and what's your connection to that person. Their memories be a blessing. And if you have a yortzeit this week, the anniversary of someone's passing by this time of the year in years past, please rise. Our congregation offers its condolences to Deborah Spork on the death of her mother, Miriam Davis. And we remember Edna Stone, Lauren Shanovich, Michael Clark, Janet Wall, Carlene Kilgore, Ezra Saadhi, Gideon Hofer, Alvin Kramer Siegel, Vlasta Bechnovic, Galina Butorina, Karen Imbalsano, Lilian Berman, Robert Bruce Meyers, Abraham Carras, Scott Safadi, Norman Green, Marilyn Silverman, Leslie Achnal, Paulette Sofin, David Green, Jenny Porish, Estelle Abrams, Spencer Caney, Arthur Cherdak, John Leveres, Marilyn Handelman, Kay Dambron, Nira Marom, Andrea Cameron, Siba Faruzan, Rosella Newton, Linda Sherry, Fred De Castro, Sherry Sheikyahan, Larry Eisen, Harry Gross, Michael Tauf, David Schwartz, Rhoda Freeman, Eliad Foner Lipsitz, Ron Walk, Adina Nir, Tamara Noten, Mimi Levy, James C. Price, Colette Kaplowitz, Rita Smith, and David Corman. And for your sides, we remember Dorothy Cleveland, mother of Buff Levine, Beatrice Kaplan, mother of Warren Kaplan, Ethel Bamberger, mother of David Bamberger, Matt Lagod, father of Alan Lagod, Barbara Goldman, cousin of Rabbi Philip Schwartz, and Jack Mandel, husband of Linda Mandel. Now you can support our fellows while standing or sitting, joining us with your voices and your hearts, for Kaddish Avelim on page 598, Mourner's Kaddish. התגדל והתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דיברה חירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב באמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומן ויתנשא. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה ברכו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה. נמירם בעלמה באמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה. בחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל באמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל באמרו amen. May the memories of your dear ones be always a blessing in your life. Yeh zichram baruch. You may be seated. Time for the board rep. You know who is that today?
I'm going to share some announcements.
She's been representing so wonderfully, right? Let her know. You know, when we conclude this service, say, Rabbi Nico really enjoyed your presence. Well, I did enjoy your presence, so thank you for sharing and singing with us. Such a privilege that when our cantor is healing, we are grateful that she is taking the time to heal and to rest a little bit. She's a wonder cantor. She broke her foot and led the service last Saturday morning. And we are grateful that she is taking some time to fully recover, to regain strength, and to be with us next week. And we're also grateful for all the talents that are accompanying us during this Shabbat, Trista, this night, and tomorrow morning, Noga, and the Torah readers, and all those that are helping out. Is so, so wonderful. Now, yes.
Okay, looking ahead. On Sunday, December 4th, we have several events going on at 9:30 a.m. Kulanu is in session. In addition, we have a membership committee meeting, which I invite all of you to come and join us. We'll always be brainstorming, and we love your input. The Men's Club board meeting will also be taking place, and you can register on the website. Also on Sunday, December 4th at 12 p.m., the Club 456 Pizza lunch will be at 12, and Saturday, December 10th at 12:30 p.m., we will have a lunch and learn right after service.
And there is a name to the lunch and learn. We finally have it. It's My heart is in the East, even when it breaks from time to time. And it's about Israeli politics and what's going on and some of the foundations for the things that we are watching in TV, why they're happening, how they're happening. So if you want to learn about Israeli politics a little bit and gain some perspective, we are going to be studying together on the 10th.
Great. And then on Sunday, the 11th at 10:15 a.m., we have a congregational meeting. Please register on the website. On Friday, December 16th at 6:15 p.m. is our Hanukkah service. Bring your Hanukkah. On Saturday, the 17th at 4 p.m., we will have Hanukkah Festival of Fun. Please register on the website. And finally, Tuesday.
What are we going to do?
What are we going to do? We're going to do a lot of really fun things. There's going to be an offering for everyone, stuff for the families with scooters and sufgoniot and havdalah, and then moving into an evening for more adult fun, which if you come on Sunday to the membership committee, you can help give input on something that you would like to be incorporated into that very fun day. Finally, Tuesday, January 10th at 7 p.m., we'll have a special conversation with author Daniel Sokach. Take his book, Can We Talk About Israel, on vacation with you, and then meet the author in January and discuss his book. Great, thank you.
Daniel is, just for everybody to know, Daniel Sokach is a very important thinker. He's presenting a very committed, a very Zionist, and a very liberal. Sometimes in liberal circles, we have like this, is this Zionist or not Zionist? He's a very committed, strong Zionist and a very committed liberal. So I think it's an interesting thinker to listen to learn with, and it's a big deal that we have him coming to Shir Hadash. So I encourage everybody to be here. It's on Tuesday night, in which we have our confirmation class, and parents are here around, so they are going to be here. I invite also all of you to be here. I have one more announcement. February 10th, that weekend, mark in your calendars, Rabbi Shmuley Yankelovich will be our scholar in residence. Rabbi Shmuley is a fantastic thinker and activist, writer of many books, and is a modern Orthodox rabbi who has decided to make his life enterprise mitzvot. So he's an advocate for refugees, he's an advocate for homeless, he's an advocate for health, and he does all what he does from a place of very deeply rooted Jewish values. He's a very inspirational speaker. He has written many books, so we will be spending the entire weekend with him, the entire Shabbat with him, thanks to the generosity of the Levin, it's called Levin
Lecture?
Levin Lecture, but it's going to be a scholar in residence, so we need to find a way to call it, but this is quite new and very, very exciting. We are very grateful for our education committee, Adult Education Committee. Now, page 122. Kiddush. בערב ויבוקר יום השישי, ויחול השמיים והארץ בכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. Please rise. סברי חבריי וחברותיי, you can say לחיים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו, ברצה בנו בשבת קודשו, באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, עם כל העמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת. לחיים. And we make sure that
we don't finish our service without sharing blessings with each other. So we invite you to make eye contact, to stand closer to the person standing next to you. We'll invite our children. We can go on the other side. Kayla, you're here, so you have mom next to you. You can come here. My children are here. And whether your children are here or not, whether your children are here or not, an interesting thing to do in Shabbat. Come here so we can see also. Interesting thing to do in Shabbat. Not interesting, just one of the most wonderful things that we can do in Shabbat is to take a moment to acknowledge the worlds that we are creating. The Torah teaches us that the world is created in partnership with God. It's not the creator that leaves us and says, well, this is done. The story of creation, the story of Bereshit is an invitation to become partners in the creation. So our children are an expression of our partnership and also our relationships, the people we love, our communities. So we not only bless our children in Shabbat, but we bless the relationship that we create. The relationship that we create. We say to our children and to those we love, may God inspire you to be like the loving parents of Israel. Yasimecha Elohim, כפרעים וכמנשה. ישמחן אלוהים כשרה רבקה רחל ולאה. We say to all of them, to all of you, יברככם אדוני באיש מרחם. May God bless you and protect you. אדוני פניו אליכם ויחונקם. May God's light shine upon you and may God be gracious to you. יישא אדוני פניו אליכם. May you find within you God's presence always. May you find integrity. May you find the determination to start new journeys, to open new chapters, and to find meaning wherever you are in your lives, also when it's difficult, or mostly when it's difficult. And may you find shalom, peace. וישם לכם שלום. אדוני עוש לעמיו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. שבת שלום everyone, שבת שלום. מה גדלו מעשה חייו, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מה גדלו מעשה חייו, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.